Hey, what's up? I got some more lore content for you guys. I wanted to cover the 3 best performing decks in Standard now that we're in a completely different meta. That way you have a good understanding of what's strong, whether you want to play the best decks themselves, or if you want to know how to counter them. With the recent expansion, there's a good mix of strategies to try out, whether it was something strong from last patch, or something that was just added. Let's see what these strong Standard decks are, shall we? Welcome to Meta Report. And to start us off, we have Evelynn Kayle. With a win rate of 56.04% and a play rate of 4.86%, it is the strongest deck to play right now. Its best matchups include Evelynn Poro King, Neeko Nidalee, also Bilgewater Poro King, and Red Gwen. The worst matchups for this deck are Teemo Ionia, Jhin Annie, Lurk, and also Teemo Nora. What happened? What made Evelynn absolutely pop off, go from like mid to top tier? Well, it was the inclusion of this card, Siren Song, just added this patch. 4 mana slow speed spell, summon a random husk, and grant 1 cost allies everywhere +1/+1. So that means all the husks are going to be permabuffed, and it's going to split the stats to other things, of course, and then it's going to summon more husks, and then Evelynn's going to get really big, and everything that's summoned is going to get really big, and there's just going to be these massive mid-game pushes. Now, if you couple this with Zolani, which we'll be talking about very shortly, Zolani also gains stats based on how many allies die with increased power, so Siren Song coming down and buffing all the husks, obviously that combo is going to be a recipe for a very strong deck. And getting into the list specifically, we have Divine Clerk. 1 mana 2/1 Empower Lifesteal, so if he gets any amount of buffs throughout the course of the game, like the Siren Song and good stuff like that, he will be able to heal whenever he does damage. This is really good because aggro is a strong matchup versus Evelynn Kayle, like Jhin Annie and stuff like that, so Divine Clerk is going to be in here to try to win through that bad matchup and other burn strategies that may come up. So yeah, he's a really solid card, can play around him early, can play around him in the mid game, heal up a couple times, and instantly win the burn matchups. Next, we have triple Targonian Tailstones. The Behold the Infinite's kind of okay. This comes up because you can get a flexible Celestial card, maybe a top-end one in case we need to have a little bit more, top-end finish. We have Hush, which is the best one. Being able to silence a unit is super good, especially in this meta. There's a lot of quick attack, there's a lot of overwhelm, things like that. Hush is just like a very versatile combat trick. And then we have Blessing of Targon, which can be used in a couple ways, as a buff immediately, and then like something can die and Zolani gets buffed later. Or you can actually put Blessing of Targon on a husk, and then when you play a unit, it will eat the husk stats, giving the husk stats to the unit that you're playing. So that's kind of cool. You can kind of like double dip on it. Maybe if you use Blessing of Targon as like a way to stop Mystic Shot or something like that, and then play a big unit, and then, yeah, it's really cool. So yeah, I can also just use this in combat to beat down things, especially quick attack. Moving right along, we have Cosmic Youngling. Just like Divine Cleric, we want to use this against the aggro matchups. That way we can win out versus one of the only things that can beat this deck. And next we have a couple Hate Spike. 3 damage removal, which is really good. Also gives us a husk. Can use this proactively or reactively. However you want to use it, just a really strong card overall. El Cascade, of course, really good combat trick and also a draw. Salter, which is a husk generator, need that. Same with Dami Mami, who is a husk generator that gives +1, so that's really good. Vora, another husk generator. Evelynn, our first champion, of course she levels when a husk dies and she sees it, and that's really good because then she gets really big. If she kills a husk, she has a keyword permanently. We're doing some keyword shenanigans in general. Sometimes we can hit like Elusive, Overwhelm, we can hit like Fury and be really annoying overall. So yeah, that's basically the main strategy of the deck, is just build up some keywords and build up really big statted units and push with them. Next we have Steam, who has Scout. When I'm summoned, summon a random husk, of course, and when you summon a 1-cost ally, grant the strongest enemy vulnerable. That way you can start controlling the board. Steam is also going to get really big from the Siren Song buff because he's going to come down hitting a husk and being tanky. He was hit a couple patches ago. He lost HP because he was just way too strong. Now he basically got it back with Siren Song, so yeah, Steam is back as well, and he's a very good unit. Next we have Kayle, our other champion. Basically, if we're going wide, we have like 3 or 4 units. We can use Kayle as like a big win con, basically pushing a bunch of extra attack stats. Also, she gains attack over the course of the game as your allies with enhanced attack get their attack calls in. So of course, since we're hitting the husks with the Siren Song, and we're playing Pale Cascade and stuff like that, our units are probably going to have enhanced attack, so Kayle is just naturally getting strong, and she can level and be an overwhelm win con for us. Next we have triple Sunburst, that way we can deal with some of the opponent's strategies. If they're developing one big unit, we can just Sunburst and kill it. That way we can interact with some of our opponent's strategies. And rounding us out, we have Zolani the Bloodweaver, which is basically tying the deck together and is the reason that we're going into Targon with Evelynn as the second region. Her card says, I have +2/+2 for each ally that died with its power increased, and in power 16, so if she goes up to 16 attack, transform me into Zolani, Aspect's Bane. I have 2/2, yes, same effect. Attack, transform attacking non-Darken followers into exact copies of me, so they're going to be a bunch of at least 16 attack overwhelmed dudes, and you basically just use it as a one-card win con. So yeah, really, really strong. Main strategy of the deck is just hold the board, whittle down the opponent, trade aggressively, and then you have a really big Zolani in the late game. And that's it for the deck rundown. Now here's a live commentary game, so you can see how the deck plays out. I'll be giving context to why I'm playing certain cards, and hopefully it gives you a good feel on how to play the deck. And for the example game, we're going to be fighting Poro King from Freljord. I think Freljord is actually one of the better Poro King regions against us because they have harsh winds and stuff like that. Just having Frostbite utility is really good into us to lower our attack stats, and they can also hit like the Zolani and stuff. Alright, so we have Divine Clerk, we have Youngling, another Clerk, and a Vora. I'm actually down to just get rid of one of my Clerks and Youngling, keep Vora, and the other Divine Clerk. That way we have something to play on 1, and we have a Husk Generator on 3. That way if we draw into Evelynn, we can level her pretty early. Omen Hawk, yep.
Grant us your guidance. We have need of you.
This is kind of fine. I'm down to just take it. Because we can always buff the Divine Clerk and make him more valuable in a little bit, so I don't want to block with him. There's our Evelynn, that's really good. I'm also down to just full float here. That way we're on Pale Cascade mana in the mid game. So yeah, we can just float our mana, go into next turn, play Vora, Evelynn, and have a pretty nice, strong mid game here. We also have Sunburst for Poro King, which is going to be nice. Because this does the silence first, it will take away any buffs from Poro Snacks and then kill him. So we can just kill the king later on. Go ahead and play Vora. If they play the Challenger Poro, we can just Pale Cascade, which is why we floated our mana. Seems good. If they can't kill our Husk, then we're going to have leveled Evelynn on attack 4, and that's really nice for us. Let's go ahead. This is going to gain Overwhelm Regen Tough if they play a Snack. Let's go ahead and block with Vora then. We can't put the Divine Clerk there. Yeah. And we do Pale Cascade, and that will kill the Pouty Poro. This is actually a really, really strong unit. So we'll take that trade. That's +1 for Zolani, wherever she is. And we can start getting this Husk shenanigan going here. Play the Evelynn.
I have the tendency to get carried away.
If we hit Elusive Husk, that'd be really good.
Mind if I slip into something a little more painful?
Very nice. 5/6 double impact. Pretty strong. So yeah, we can basically just swing with Evelynn without any care in the world. Yep.
Harder. Okay.
And I'm going to keep the Divine Clerk back. Again, we might be able to buff him and get some lifesteal value. Swinging with him, just for him to die to like Omen Hawk, not super worth.
Scream for me.
Yep, and we can kill the king on summon with Sunburst. That's basically going to be our defense 5. If they play below Poro King, I'm down to do like a hate spike play or something.
Let's keep going.
And there's our Zolani. We can now keep track of the Empower now too, since we have her in hand. Yeah, go ahead and just play the king. Nothing bad will happen to him, trust. The king always lives on turn 5. You gotta believe me. They could just open attack as well. If they open, it beats my mana. Ooh, Affectionate Poro. Alright, yeah, let's, we could hit the Divine Clerk here. That sounds pretty good, actually. Just get the leveled Evelynn right away. See what they're going to grab with the Affectionate Poro. We can do a hate spike play. Let's go ahead and get this going.
We tend the fire and hope for her return.
Since they play below 5, we can also play below 5. We don't care about our Sunburst anymore. Yeah, just go ahead and take the Evelynn level. Abled Poro. big keywords. Quick attack, fearsome, overwhelm. And then this is brash. Okay. Those aren't really the best hits for them, so that's pretty chill. Let's see what their attack call is. Elusive, elusive, elusive. Just swinging with all those. I mean, that makes sense. Alright, let's go ahead and... I kind of want to hate spike to prevent damage. Or do I? Maybe it doesn't matter. I could also just burn 1 mana and go into next turn and not feel super bad about it. I kind of want to hate spike though. Mitigate a little bit of damage, get me a husk. I'll be on 2 husks, right? Because everyone's going to spawn 1 round end. Hopefully I top deck like Kayle or something. I need a pretty strong turn 6. Because right now I'm on a pretty defensive, like, reactive hand. Oh, elusive husk, huge. Okay, perfect. I just need a unit.
Scream for me.
I'll take any unit at this point.
Back on the prowl.
That is not a unit, but it is Siren Song. Which is pretty good, too. That is indeed pretty good. We can play it out. My Zolani is going to be massive next turn. Herder, sure.
Where did that one run off to?
We could probably send the Divine Clerk.
I hope.
Heal me up a little bit. Attacking. Nice. That helps get our Kayle going. Can't attack with Evelyn because I couldn't level her, but that's alright. But yeah, our Zolani is going to be really big. Because every time a husk dies, it also counts for her. Oro snacking. Oro snacking, huh? I'm down to Pale to keep this alive. Another Zolani. Well, that's a bit extra, don't you think? Bonk. Kill me up a little bit. Yeah, so now they have to kill me, like, right now. If they play Poro King, I will Sunburst. If they do not play Poro King, I will Zolani. And probably win the game. Yeah, Mr. King has got to come down here. If they're not on Poro King, it's actually kind of hard to translate this to lethal. Alright. Zolani it is. Let's go. Big Zolani. With elusive spell shield impact. And also a 13-16. Holy guacamole. 13-16 overwhelm elusive impact spell shield. Yeah, you better be grabbing it. I can block the Daring Poro with Evelyn, because now we need to prevent a little bit of damage if we can, so we don't die. Block that. Block that. Heals me a little bit. See, this Divine Cleric's actually clutching. He's healed me so much. And prevented a lot of damage. Yep. And then we have Zolani level next turn, because we can just play second Zolani, play Divine Cleric, all that good stuff. So yeah, we're on 2 Zolani, which is pretty fair. Yep. This one's gonna level now. And there we go. That's basically how we close it out here. We can play Divine Clerk and hit another Aspect's Bane, essentially. So yeah, it's pretty over. Even if they're on 1 Frostbite, it's like nowhere near enough because we have Spell Shield now.
We have need of you.
Transform, attacking non-darkened followers. So we would keep Evelyn and transform the Divine Clerk, right? How that works. Interesting. They are on the Harsh Winds. Yeah, we don't get to make that one stronger, do we? Or Evelyn. So it would seem. That's alright, though. Because we have Overwhelm, Elusive, Spell Shield, Impact. So, yeah, it's just like way overkill. Even that Harsh Winds was not enough. Easy. Zolani mid-game power spike. And for the next deck, we have a personal favorite of mine, of course, Jhin Annie. With a win rate of 52.48% and a play rate of 4.46%, it has cemented itself a nice number 2 spot in this meta. Its best matchups include Ashe LeBlanc, Shyvana Aesol Dragons, Bilgewater Poro King, and also Neeko. Its bad matchups include Swain Alawi, Jinx, Teemo Kate, and also Jinx Samira Discard. So getting right into it, we have Annie, of course, really good with the skill synergy, really strong, Crackshot Corsair with the extra skill. Next we have Crimson Pigeon, which I don't think is actually the best card we could be running here. I prefer Precious Pet because we don't have a lot of Crimson Pigeon targets. When rotation happened and we lost Legion Rearguard, we actually lost a really good target for Crimson Pigeon to hit and gain stats from. If we play Annie, that's like the only thing we can hit with Pigeon, or like multiple copies of it. Crackshot Corsair and Saboteur are not good targets, so Pigeon just kind of like chills. I'd definitely rather this be Precious Pet most of the time, but people do seem to stick with the Pigeon list. So next we have Saboteur, of course, with the attack skill. Imperial Demolitionist at 3 of. I would run this at 2, not 3, but it is really good to close out games, especially now that we're missing Decimate. Using Demo in conjunction with like a Jhin Lotus Trap and stuff like that definitely gets us a lot of damage in the mid-late game, so yeah, that's a really good card as well. Again, I'd probably run her at 2. Next we have Triple Pirouette, which is like the best card in the deck. I think this is the strongest card for Jhin Annie that has come out in recent times. Plunder, I cost 1 less, which can actually come up a lot with Tusk Speaker, Mana Soul Student, Jhin Lotus Trap, all that good stuff. Deal 1 to anything and stun an enemy. So this is also going to give us stun synergy. If Jhin is on the board, we can like kill something, stun something, Lotus Trap stun something else, and just make it really hard for the opponent to play the game. In typical Jhin Annie fashion, it is a stun synergy card, so it is very good. Next we have Triple Solari Sunhawk. Speaking of stuns, 2 mana 2/3 stun, of course, really broken. Stagehand, another stunner, really good in conjunction with Sunhawk on like attack 4, or just playing multiple stagehands in the mid game, make it to where the opponent can't play. A Speaker, really good at activating Pirouette Plunder, also dealing the extra damage, goes a long way. Next we have Mana Soul Student, which is interesting. I would probably prefer to run Prefect over Mana Soul, but he's pretty good. 3 mana 3/2, each round the first time you play a fast spell, slow spell, or skill, I play Magic Embers, which is basically a Lotus Trap. It just deals 1, and this can add up, especially if you get Mana Soul Student early, and then have like multiple turns of proccing extra skills. Jhin can kind of turbo level, and it helps Annie as well. It's really good when you have skills to play on defense turn, right? And then you can like double dip on his skills here. So yeah, that's really good. Again, I usually prefer Prefect because she just hits like really hard as like a better Iron Ballista, but this is the list that people are running. Next we have Triple Fervor, 3 mana fast speed spell, deal 3 to an ally to deal 3 to anything. Of course, really good finisher. We need Noxian Fervor. I'm glad we still have it. We may have lost Decimate, but yeah, Fervor definitely gets us a lot of lethals. Jhin, of course, really strong card. I've been covering Jhin Annie a lot recently, so not going to go into everything that he lets us do, but very, very nice, very strong, very fun. Definitely my favorite champion in the game, so love to see some more Jhin Annie representation, and it does seem like this is one of the best aggro decks to play this patch. Jhin Annie is up there, Samira Jinx Discard is up there, and Samira Fizz Monkeys are up there, so yeah. If you want to play Jhin Annie, definitely really strong right now. Next we have 2 Witness, which is a card I've been on for a long time. I think Witness has been good ever since it was released. It's really nice. 4 mana 3/3. Flow, I cost 2 less. Flow counts for skills played in the previous turn, so that's something that people often forget, and that's really good. So we can basically have a 2 mana 3/3 body that stuns, really broken with synergy. We can like very easily proc 2 skills on defense turn and then play out like Sunhawk Witness on attack turn, and it's basically like having a Sunhawk stagehand while being able to keep the 3/3 body. So really good overall, really nice card. And then to round us out, we have 2 Augmented Experimenter, which is our only access to draw. So yeah, this can basically come down in the mid game to help fetch us like Fervors or Pirouettes for direct damage lethal. Also, Demolitionists can come up from this guy. So yeah, really good just to like basically fish for lethal in those games that are going a bit longer. And that's it for the deck rundown. Definitely come by the stream if you want to see my versions of Jhin Annie. I like playing this deck a lot, and I have some slightly different takes than this list. And to quickly cover the Ravenborn Tome variations of Jhin Annie. There is one going around right now. I need to playtest it a lot before I cover it in meta report or for a deck profile, but I figured I'd talk about it real quick since a lot of people are curious about the new weapon and where it goes in Jhin Annie and what that list looks like. So here it is real quick. I'll also put it in the description below. This is the testing version I'm working on right now, and once I have it fully refined, I'll probably make a deck profile for it. So now here's a live commentary game so you can see how it plays out. And for the example game, we're going to be fighting Kayle, the deck that we just played. However, if you recall, Jhin Annie has a good matchup into Kayle. So that's really good. We just need to play super aggressively and try to kill them before Zolani can even come down, which is our specialty. Speed is what Jhin Annie is best at. So let's go ahead and play Annie on 1. Play out double 1-drops on 2. Probably another 1-drop on 3. I mean, full 1-drops is just a good hand, especially with Jhin coming in. Play Annie on 1. So their early game units, yeah, that are really annoying for us are Divine Clerk and also the Unicorn thing. We can beat past this guy, but the Unicorn's actually really annoying, just giving them heals every turn, while also being a blocker. Fervor, yeah.
Justice light my way.
I'm down to take 2. Then we can play out Corsair. They don't have like a bunch of removal for us, which is nice. They only have Hate Spike and Sunburst. Play out that. And then we can open attack, or we can play Saboteur here. I'm kind of down to just open. If they're on Pale, it's kind of annoying. This almost levels Annie. We could also Fervor, I guess, if we wanted to. Now let's just level Annie. I don't think we're gonna go for Fervor. We're just gonna send it.
Everything's in place.
I don't think we need to attack with the 1/1s, do we? I mean, we could, because then that pushes 2 damage here. This is gonna trade into Annie anyways. They're probably on Pale Cascade. Yeah, I think we can just kind of full send it. It's gonna be an Annie level, which is really good too. They only have 2 blockers.
Play a game of hide and burn.
Yep, this is pretty big for us.
Tough day, friend.
This makes sense. And then you're gonna kill one of my Corsairs? No, neither of them. I just get to keep double Corsair? Alright, bet. They know we have Jhin in hand too. Alright. I'm surprised they wouldn't play like Dami Mami or Vora this turn. They're full floating 3. Okay. Do they have Sunburst? Okay, it's Evelyn. Hello.
I was hoping you'd stop by. She's been missing you.
Has she? Maybe I'll satisfy her cravings.
Alright.
See what's beneath while I see what's inside.
I'm going to play out Mr. Jhin. And then we're just gonna take. They're not on Siren's Call, so the Divine Clerk is not life-stealing me, and that feels good. I'll just take 5 and go next turn.
That was hot.
Let's see if we're leveling Jhin. Getting Curtain Call is really good, because we could just win the game through skills, like right now. Let's go ahead and see. That is not leveling Jhin. Is this leveling Jhin? It is. Cool. So this is 1. That puts him to 3. That's 2, 3. Okay, that means I'm pretty sure his attack call is leveling him, so I'm also going to pre-commit Fervor, put that on the stack, and that should be Curtain Call as well.
I have prepared something very special.
Here we go. Let's see if the quick math paid out. That's the Lotus Trap from Annie's attack, and then he levels and gets Curtain Call. Yep, quick math. So now I'm threatening... well, 4, 5, 6, 7 from skills.
I know that.
Curtain Call, Fervor. Okay, a lot. Threatening a lot from skills. Caress. That doesn't do anything, so I guess I won. We have second Fervor as well, but we can just win as soon as we resolve this. It's a classic, you know, just a little bit of a turn 5 level Jhin. It is what it is. Look at all these skills play out. It is beautiful. Yep. Okay. A little overkill too, but hey, it's about sending a message. And for the final deck, we have Neeko Game Demacia, which is a deck that I recently covered as well. And you know, I mean, I don't mean to brag or anything, but it kind of says on Runeterra AR right now, best players is me, so that's kind of hype. It's got a win rate of 50.43% and a play rate of 2.51%, but I anticipate this deck to do even better in the near future. Its winning matchups include Aurelion Sol Freljord, Seraphine Samira, Dragons, and also the Nora Neeko variation. Its worst matchups are Timo Ionia, Jinx Echo, Jax Ornn, and also Heimer Jace. So because I just recently covered this deck, I'm not going to go super hard into it. Basically what you want to do is maximize your different subtypes, which are the different animals in the game. The subtype is at the top of each card. This one's a bird, this one's a spider, this one's a cat. So you want to be attacking with different animals, that way we level Neeko. However, there are secondary and tertiary win cons with this version. The secondary win con is Garen, just going wide, playing Garen, playing your overwhelm units, and just pushing. The tertiary win con is champion strength. Of course, if you're in a deck that's like super going wide, champion strength just closes out games for you. So yeah, it's a pretty simple deck. We have birds in the early game, we have spiders, we have Deck Hunter who can manifest a follower of a different subtype, which is cool because you can hit like Yordle, you can hit Cultist, you can hit Weapon Master, all kinds of stuff with Deck Hunter. We have Dog, we have Grandfather Fae who makes us another Fae, we have Neeko, of course, who gains elusive when she levels, and also a ramping attack stat to all allies with a subtype, which is every card in the deck. We have another dog, we have Spider, we have Anor and Fruip, which is the best card ever. It's actually broken. 3-mana 2/2. Allies that have a different subtype than other allies in play cost 1 less. You get out multiple Anor and Fruips, and then all of a sudden your hand costs 0, and you can just keep playing everything infinitely, and that feels really good. Big Overwhelm Cat. And then we have Garen, who's an elite, and since that is a different subtype, Anor and Fruip can make Garen cost 4. So that's pretty cool. We can just play Garen on turn 4 now, and yeah, it's pretty strong. Glaciosauron, who's a reptile and also a draw, and then Champion Strength to close out the game. If you want even more card context and some more example games, definitely check out my recent deck profile. Otherwise, let's get into the example game. And for the example game, we have Barrier Boys. Shen and Jarvan, pretty fun deck. I actually enjoy dabbling with some Barrier Boys. So we have Precious Pet on 1, we have Deck Hunter 2, we have Frostcoat Cub, Anor and Fruip. This is honestly just a well-rounded hand. We have Spider Cat, Dog Reptile, all good stuff. Resource Generator, Resource Cheapener, double Anor and Fruip, which is always balanced. For sure. We can attack on 1. I love Precious Pet. Alright, so that's already Spider in there. If we top deck our other cat, the Bone Tail one, that'd be really, really strong.
My shield is yours.
Alright, play Deck Hunter. Free Bird? Or Free Poro? I like Free Bird. Bird's good. Yeah, we can just take that. We can do Anor and Fruip and Free Bird, or we can do Bird Coat. Or Bird Grandfather. It's definitely Bird first, though. I'm gonna try to kill this Greenglade Caretaker. Let's play out the Grandfather Fae, I think. Frostcoat Cub, Grandfather Fae. Frostcoat Cub, Grandfather Fae. I think this is actually better for board pressure this turn, because it's a 2/3. I'll plan on swinging into 3/2. So 2/3 living the combat is pretty nice. Tag with everything. That's a lot of animals. Neeko's at 4 of 6. Yeah, we get to win that trade. Field Durant. Alright. Oh, that is going to be a big tanky unit. My bird's dead. Sag. Alright. Inku student. Anor and Fruip.
You're a weird one.
We can actually block with our Precious Pet because we're going to be able to play a second one. Oh, hello. Single combat my Anor and Fruip. That was not nice at all. Alright, pass. Fair enough. Okay. I actually want to do Precious Pet Garen. And just have a strong attack turn 5. Try to beat over this. If they play Shen, I'm gonna be kind of mad.
For justice, for Demacia.
Because I can't deal with Shen. Double barrier on defense.
You're covered.
I can't deal with that either. That's basically like playing Shen, isn't it? Alright, pass. So we're just gonna have to win through champion strength and hope they're not also on deny in hands. Champion strength, so I'm going into attack 7, which means I need to float 2. That should be pretty easy.
Observe, learn.
Yeah, you're on more barrier stuff, I bet.
Honor guide me.
Oh yeah, you are. My Garen is dying for free. Alright, well, here you go. You can do that. Stop me from dying, because I have to. And then we have Anora and Fruip, and then we can play Dog.
Toads, giant snakes, nature's so cool.
Not Dog, Grandfather Fae. And then float 2. I mean, it's a pretty good champ strength. Field Duran number 2. Yep. Alright, don't deny me, alright?
Blesses her followers. A new species.
Do not have deny and do not have Shen. Or any more barriers. Because I have got to win this turn. It'd be really nice if I could. Top deck, single combat number 2. That's kind of fine. Everything trades into it. That's pretty chill. And then what? Don't be on Shen. I'll be really mad. AC Fae Folk, that's fine. Scout attack, full send. I'm pretty sure we can actually stabilize and beat down now. Because they're out of resources. They had double single combat and double shield Durand. And we have more units in hand. So yeah, we just kind of get to close out from here. Yep. We get to send it again. It should now just be a resource game, right? Because we have more units on board than they do. And we have more units in hand than they do. Yep. It should be pretty simple now. Redevelop, play Garen on attack. Omen Hawk, that's nice. We might get some buffed units too. Sacred Protector. Alright, never mind. We're still in it. We are still in it. That's a pretty good card. And so is that Shen. We just need to stay wide. So, I'm dying. So, I'll have to block here. Take 6. Better than 8. That. And that. And then hope I can win through Garen wide swinging, right? Ooh. Saurian. Cat.
A balance requires a watchful eye.
Master, I am ready for my next lesson.
Akai. Over you. You. Alright, I mean, this is a lot of damage, I guess. If we're on Neeko, I mean, we would have just straight up won.
There is no.
But yeah, it should be like, no matter how they block now, it should be alright. As long as they're not on Spirit's Refuge to heal. Not too bad. And to wrap things up, the meta is pretty diverse this time around. There are some other really strong decks from last patch that I'll be covering in next week's meta report, like Lurk, Samira Fizz, Demacia Kaisa. Pretty much all the same stuff from last patch is still really good, but I wanted to cover the new spice that has risen to the top, while also teasing the next version of Jhin Annie a little bit. This has been Meta Report. Thank you so much for watching and have a good one. Laters!